Hello, guys. So, we are live. Oh, I haven't turned my light on yet. Me in a fab as well. You can tell I'm in a rush. So, I do my live a little bit earlier tonight because I'm knackered. Can't lie. Hello, there's one person watching. Who is this legend? Ask me questions. Fire away. Here we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? I can't see that for the life of me, but we're here. We're here. Anthony, how are you, mate? You good? You winning? Yeah, guys, ask me questions and we'll talk about stuff and everything. I want to talk a little bit about GB Duro though. So, that's a really cool bike packing race from Land's End to John O'Groats, and it's all off road, which is quite good. Not all off road, majority off road. It's unsupported, but to a whole new level. Where you actually you're not allowed to walk inside any buildings. You have to carry all your own food, get water from streams and stuff like that. Crazy, you know. Don't know how people enjoy stuff like this. Personally, not for me. Someone did say, would I consider doing something like that? Nah. Honestly, I can probably go 3 days without like a proper bed. And that's all I can do. I'm not, I like bike packing, but I do like my creature comforts. And that's a bed. you know. So just watching it now. Angus Young. Not really heard about him before, but meant to be incredible. He's killing it. He is winning, shortly followed by Josh Hibbert, Jason Black. You can tell I'm looking at this on my laptop now. I think they all ride Masons. They all ride the same bike. How crazy is that? Oh, that's it. Anyway, guys, ask me some questions. Tell me what's going on. Gary Coe. Hello, Gary. How are you, mate? You good? Yeah, far away, guys. So yeah, early live today, 7 o'clock. Not gonna lie, I'm knackered. I got back to work, like normal life again, and yeah, it's tough. Normal life is hard. Really is. Well, back to work, having fun, more money coming in, which is nice, and yeah, that's how life is going right now. Not doing as much training. I want to be doing more, but obviously I've got this slight issue with my thyroid at the minute, so I'm just kind of having a bit of time off really, which is nice, and enjoying that. Just a little bit of a break from doing too intense training, so I'm only cycling like 8 hours a week at the minute, maybe 10 hours, and then doing weight sessions as well. So I'm actually losing weight, which is nice. My appetite's gone down a bit, but bar that, yeah, literally, I am not training that much. Very when I am going out, it's fairly high intensity stuff, which is good. Bar the coffee I had on Sunday, that wasn't high intensity, and obviously socially distanced. So yeah, that's the gossip. Not really much else has been happening. Talk to me, guys. What are you up to? Tell me about your riding and what you're up to these days. And if you want, ask me some questions, by all means. GB Duro. I was looking at the weight of people's bikes at the start of GB Duro, because obviously you have to carry all your food with you from Land's End on the Groats and drink from streams. And Josh Hibbert, about 35 kilo bike. 35 kilo. 35 kilo. Honestly, if I was getting to the start line of a race, I would expect to be under 14 kilo on my bike set up. And that's probably with water. 15 with water. Yeah, go light. Kill it. Smash it out. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Tell me, guys, what we all up to. Not many people here today. Normally we've got about 15, 20. There's no one here. So yeah, I'll give it a bit of time, see who turns up. Go from there, talk about live. Got my final blood test later this week to see if my thyroid's fixed itself or not. Probably hasn't, unfortunately, but we will see. Fingers crossed it has. I hate to say, and this is a weird thing to say, fingers crossed that I had Lyme disease. Because then it means it would have explained why my thyroid was bad, because that can affect thyroid. And it means I won't have to take medication, which is quite nice. So yeah, so if anyone wants to know about that, I think, or the doctor thinks I have something called hypothyroidism. That's it. Not hypothyroidism, just hypothyroidism. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm guessing everyone is back at work now. Back living life again in this crazy COVID world. It's nuts, isn't it? Can you believe this has all happened? I know, I cannot believe this. Still taken completely back by it all. But we shall see. We shall see. I'm just having a look at the GB Duro stuff still. And like Molly Weaver, ex-pro. She's not in anymore. Looks like she's scratched. Same with Ross Holland. Had some problems with his inner tubes. Had to go into a shop. And they were like, nope, you're out. You went into a shop. Crazy that, isn't it? Like, absolutely crazy. This is a cool race, and I like the idea. And I think the people they call it the Racing Collective, are doing a really good job. Like GB Duro last year with, like, let's say Land's End, John O'Groats. They did it in stages, so you could do one stage, sleep, then another, sleep, then another sleep. But the stages were like ridiculously long, like 1,000k, something like this, like 800k. And then you have the opportunity to sleep. And I liked that. I thought that was quite cool. I think there's a lot of room to spice that bike packing a bit. But honestly, in my opinion, I just quite like the idea of racing bikes and sleeping in beds, because I'm just not a fan of sleeping on the floor outside, especially in the UK when it's raining. That must be awful. That's it. So guys, not many people on. I've come on really early. There's not many people here. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes and fire some questions, guys. Talk to me. Have we got some questions? Let's do chat. Live chat. Yeah, not much going on, guys. So give it a few more minutes, and if not many people turn up, I might come back and do a live tomorrow instead. We'll see. Maybe I should advertise it a bit more. That'd be good. But I haven't really advertised it much today. Any tips on how to stay more consistent with riding? Anthony, that's a tough one, mate. Like, honestly, consistency is something I really struggle with, because like with work, I normally work the mornings, so it's like 6 a.m. to like 12 p.m. Obviously lunchtime, and then like after lunch, like maybe I'll work till 2, and then it's really tough to go home and to have some lunch and then to have to come back and go riding. Honestly, I remember listening to a really good audiobook. This was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it was all about having this ability just to not think negatively. And it always spoke about when there's something that you're, not really wanting to do. Like for me, it's training. Sometimes I don't want to train. You just have to just do it. Just not think about it and just do it. Honestly, mate, like if you're not feeling like you've got the energy to train, I would probably consider how much you're eating and look at that side of thing, and considering when you're training. But consistency is the hardest thing in training, like just staying on top of actually, going out. And I know it's not ideal some days. Today I went out and that was absolutely hammering down with rain. I didn't really want to be out, but I thought, do you know what, just go out, don't think about it, put a good podcast on. Same with Zwift. Not every day I want to go on Zwift. It actually does my head in a little bit some days. But you just, you get the consistency, but I just don't question it. I just do it. And that's really good for me. Like, I must remember what the audiobook was called. But it was all about just, mentally just going, not having any negatives. It's really good. There's some really cool books that I've read, and they all talk about, it's attitude is probably more important, but it's really tough just to, and I know it's tough some days, but if I'm too tired, then I just won't train and I'll make it up in the week. I never worry about that. There's much more, and actually this sounds bad, there's much more important things to life than riding bikes. Like work. If work picks up and it's really busy and someone's ill and there's no one to help at the gym, then you've got to go. There's no yes or no. That's it. Like, obviously, there's different circumstances, but yeah, like, training can be caught up on. Certain things in life can't. So I'd look into why you're not really feeling into training. Like, whether it be, like I say, might not have eaten enough, might be a little bit tired, might be busy with work, and just adapt it to your lifestyle. Maybe shorten the sessions a bit. Do things a bit more you enjoy. So yeah, that's what I'd say. But yeah, any other question, guys? Far away. I bit my tongue earlier, and it really hurts. So if I sound a bit lispy, it's because I've got a bit of a swollen tongue. Not ideal, but I thought, how am I going to fix this? So I went and bought a box of Fabs, and I've just been eating them to settle my tongue down. But I am very tired. I'm so ready to go to bed. I can't lie. It's like 7:10 here. But then again, I'm one of these people, that gets up at 4 a.m. the majority of pretty much every day. Like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., probably more 5 a.m. You know, that's just kind of a nice time for me. So yeah. So I must admit, I was up very early, and since being back at work, I'm sleeping 2-3 hours less a night. But I don't really seem to be struggling with it. I thought I would be, but it's okay. You know, I've never really struggled too much with being too tired, unless it's just day after day after day after day for about a week of getting like 4 or 5 hours a night's sleep. Then I'm just pretty KO'd. So yeah, that's good. Guys, hope we're well. Questions? Fire at me. Fire at me. Yeah, fire at me, guys. If not, I'm probably going to come on tomorrow and give the live another go when there's a bit more people. We'll go from there. How does that sound? Are we winning? Yes, we are winning. So yeah, we will do. We'll probably do that, but we'll stay on a little bit longer, see who turns up, and go from there. But yeah, that's okay, Anthony. You know me. But I will probably try one tomorrow, and we've got a few more people. So yeah, that's good fun. It's good fun. We are enjoying YouTube a lot. You know, subs are going up quite nicely, actually. I'm really happy at the minute, guys, with everything that's going on in life. I'm really happy to be back at work. You know, it's just, I can't believe how much I've missed it. It's actually made me a bit upset about how long I wasn't there for. And I'm lucky that I, you know, actually work with some really amazing people, like my clients and obviously people at the gym as well. And it's quite difficult to look back and think, oh, actually, I've had all this time off and yeah, just missed everyone so much. So cycling's kind of been put on hold a bit because obviously I've got this issue with my health, and I'm back at work, working a lot of hours, and I should be moving into my new house soon, which is really exciting. So cycling has kind of not necessarily been put on hold. It is just there, you know, and I'm just doing less cycling at the minute. So just like maybe 8 to 10 hours a week, which is still a lot, but not compared to what I'm used to. It's not a crazy amount, you know. Like in my prime, like when I was getting ready for the week record, that was 20 to 25 hours a week. But still, you don't need to go crazy, guys. Like honestly, cycling too many hours is gluttony. It's not worth doing. You know, like literally, you can be riding at a top level. I think you can be riding at a top level, like these absolute pros winning races for 10 to 15 hours a week riding, I think, anyway. Like from my side of things, I genuinely think, providing you get the intensity in and providing you're used to your bike, hello, Drew. How are you? Yeah, providing you've got the intensity in and providing that you've structured everything well and you're resting enough, yeah. I think it is possible to be ready for ultra races on like 10 hours a week riding. Really do. Providing you just get the right. Like I used to say to people, like I had a client who really wanted to get into a bit more long distance cycling. And I said, if you're stuck, you know, like, okay, Monday, do like an hour's ride. Tuesday, 2-hour ride. Wednesday off. Thursday, hour ride. Friday off. And then the weekend, put in a 6-7 hour ride. Done. That simple. You know, really easy. And he did that, then eventually raced and was fine. Absolutely fine. Really good for him. But yeah, it's tough. It's challenging. Cycling, and especially endurance cycling, is one of those really painful things that actually takes a hell of a long time to train for stuff. But the more you do it, the easier and easier it gets. You know, that's the thing. And the more your mind switches off. And there's a really big thing that I think mentally, so I can tell you now, like as someone that's done quite a lot of this, if, you know, at one point, an hour will feel like a long time that you're riding. An hour will feel like, oh my God, I can't wait till it's over, yeah? Then you'll keep riding, yeah? And then 2 hours will feel like a long time and an hour will feel like nothing. Then 3 hours will feel like a long time and 2 will feel like nothing. Yeah, and this will build and build and build. So you'll get to a point where 20 hours feels like a lot and 10 is nothing. Yeah, it's that simple. Like, and I know that sounds weird. And I remember riding for 34 hours straight. 34 hours, I think it was. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I've done a few stints like that, really super long stints. And then suddenly 20 hours doesn't become that bad. And it's just a build up. And then obviously every so often you don't race for like 6 months, you relapse back. And then like 10 hours feels like a lot again. Then when it's quicker to get back up. But I think, and there's a lot of people that will disagree with me on this, like when you are getting ready for ultra races, doing some really big stints, some like 24-hour rides, although for your body, it's probably not the most ideal thing in the world, but for your mind and to get used to the equipment that you're using on the bike and your saddle and stuff like that, super valuable. Like, honestly, like a lot of people, will disagree with me in saying that. It's all about, oh, it's short and sweet, you know. But honestly, you will get a lot from just going out, smashing out a big long day. And even this with Neil, Turn Cycling, my coach, you know, it's a good thing I go out and he was doing long days in my training, because you got to get used to it. You got to get used to sitting in the saddle. You know, you got to get used to that kind of loneliness. You got to get used to night riding, things like that. You know, I see that a lot in ultra racing. People training for things, and then literally they're just going, oh, I'm going to go to the start line. Yeah, I've done my training. Yeah, I'm a strong cyclist. Being a strong cyclist doesn't make you necessarily a great ultra racer. I think a great ultra racer comes from being a good cyclist, but just being able to not sleep much, being able to have that, oof, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this, I'm going to go a little bit further, I'm going to do this. You know, it's interesting. I find that, and I'm going to say this actually, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, many ultra racers are very introverted. So they're quite happy in their own head and things like that. And you'll notice that the people that seem to do the best are very introverted. Like, they're not really having a laugh that much. Not really having many conversations. Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Like, they're super introverted, they're doing their own thing, and they just turn off from the world. Would I say it's more a mental thing? Yeah, I had an interesting conversation. I had an interesting race once. I went to a race once, and I remember doing like an interview with a guy named Anthony Gordon, and he's a videographer for a lot of these races, and he said to me, mentally or physically, what is it? And I said 70% mental, 30% physical. Like there's people, so like I take quite pride in that I'm a pretty fit cyclist. Like watts per kilo, I'm like 4.2. You know, I've got some really powerful legs, I've got a good bike, I can sit in the saddle a long time. So anyway, we did this race, and then the next guy he interviewed overheard me saying 30% physical, 70% mental, and he goes, no. He goes, I disagree with you, Robbie. He goes, it is 70% physical, 30% mental. And I said, okay, fair play. And then everyone made a big thing of this and said, whoever gets to the finish proves the point. And I said, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I think it's all mental. Like, I am a very strong rider, and I know that. But there's a guy, and I spoke about this guy last time, Jack, French guy, amazing guy, incredible racer. Yeah, much older than me. Not sure if he's stronger than me. Much older than me. You know, probably not as quick. But in the first 3 times I raced him, he beat me. You know, I pride myself on probably putting out more power than him, but he's just more efficient, you know, and he just had a stronger mindset. Like, I hate to say, when I get tired, there's times when I'm fine and I'm all like, hey, I'm Robin Ferry, I'm having a laugh, I love riding, even though I've been riding 48 hours. But there is times where I'm just broken and there is just nothing inside. So honestly, I shouldn't say this, I believe it's more mental than physical. And I believe just because you're a strong rider doesn't really mean that much. Here's a good example, GB Duro. Looking at this now, we have Sven Tuft. He's next pro. You know, still he is pretty far behind a lot of the other guys. You know, or a few guys. You know, I think, yeah, physical doesn't really come into it. But then you get people that are very good at the mental side as well. Like, is it Lachlan, the guy from EF Education that did GB Duro last year? Absolutely killed it. Yeah, he was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, in my opinion, yeah, it's more mental than it is physical. It's all about efficiency and just holding your mind when you're tired. Because a lot of people struggle to do that. I do. You know, like, I've made some real stupid moves when I've been tired. Like, I threw all my food away once because I thought it was out of date. Because I got the month of March and May mixed up when they were in the year. Yeah, that's one thing. I've cried countless times, actually, to be brutally honest. Like 90% of my races, I just burst into tears and cried on the side of the road because I've just been so distraught. A lot of this was, I think, due to dehydration, not eating right, and just not having that, you know, functional mindset, because I've just was so bad at managing my eating, and now that's a bit better. It's not so bad, but in the past it was very tough. very, very, very tough to manage that. But now I'm a little bit better. I can ride a lot further, and I just you gain a bit of maturity once you've done a few races, and you just get into this thing of the nerves aren't as much, and you can think about things more. You worry less about the big climbs. You've just got this aspect of control in your head, and when you see a big climb, you just get to the bottom like, okay, it's going to be a long way up, it's going to be a good way down, and that helps. And stuff like, one thing that a lot of people struggle with is sleeping. I get that, sleeping's tough, like when you want to go to sleep and you get scared, and you're not sure if you're going to have a hotel for the night, and you're worried that that shop might not be open. When you've done a few races and you've had some bad stuff happen, like when you've run out of food like terribly and had to push on, or you've taken the wrong way and you've had to go back up a big climb, you just get this mental thing of that, it's what it is, here it's just a race. You hear these guys talk a lot of the main phrases: race your own race, it's just a bike ride. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of truth in them. It's just a bike ride. So many times I've been riding along, taking things way too seriously, and you realise, hey, I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to win, And then I started to get a bit better and better, and I was like, I really want to do well, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're right. No, the majority, I think, a lot of sports, it's all mental. It's all preparation in your head. I've gone into races, 2/3 as fit as I am now, and absolutely smashed them, just because my head was in the right place, and I was pacing better. But I think, I'm quite excited about next time I race. It won't be in the Race Around Netherlands, unfortunately, because I had to cancel that. I should, like I say, I get my results soon, the blood test, go from there. Questions, guys. Fire at me, questions, Stuff you want to see on YouTube. There's a really cool thing that I heard about today, and I'm not going to talk about it yet, because I don't want this to be on this, but there's a really cool phone app, and this wasn't the one I'm talking about in my video the other day, yesterday. This is a phone app that does something really cool, but it's not necessarily for cycling. And I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about it. It's got a very interesting way of working, and I can't wait to talk about that. But I want to use it first to make sure it's not anything weird. But yeah, found out, so there's some really cool videos coming up soon. Here's some big shocking news. The single speed bike I made, the blue one. So if you watch my videos, probably about 10 days ago, I made this really nice blue single speed bike out of this old Carrera. Yeah. I did it, and I put it on eBay. I put it up, and it's old. So yeah, so a lady bought it, and I've got to send it to her. So, on one hand, I'm like, yay, the bike's sold, I can do another project. On another, I'm a little bit upset about it, because I really liked that bike, and I'm really going to miss it. But it wasn't my size, I'm a little bit too big for it. But yeah, it's sold. The single speed is gone, guys, unfortunately. So I have to box that up and send that. And I got a new frame that you probably saw. Hey mate, you okay? I got a new frame the other sort, and it's so cool. It's got this lovely little indent where the wheel goes in, and I bought the paint for it the other day. It is like this metallic gold paint. It looks sick. It looks so cool. I will probably spray it, but I'm having some trouble because I have these. The thing about this frame, it was very cheap, and I knew there was something that would be difficult. They're inch forks on it. So not like, the fork that goes in the head tube, the fork at the front, they have very odd, they don't have odd sizes, they have different ones, so you get different ones. So you get inch, which is tiny old school tops of forks, if that makes sense. Then you get inch eighth, and you get inch and a half, then you get inch and a half to inch eighth to inch and a half tapered, and you get all these weird sizes. And the size I have is inch, and it's a very old school. So I'm looking at forks on eBay because the frame didn't come with forks, and you got steel forks, which I just don't want steel forks, too heavy, and the bike looks way too racy for steel forks. And you've got carbon ones, but people just ask for silly money for carbon forks that are an inch at the top, and it's doing my head in because I keep finding big bladed ones like what I want, because I'll probably I'm thinking about keeping this next bike personally. Yeah, so literally, I'm finding them and people are like, yeah, I want 100 quid for them. Man, the frame cost me 30 quid. You know, I'm not spending £100 on forks. It's soul destroying. So, be looking everywhere. And I eventually found 2 pairs and the guy's like, mate, 29 quid. And I'm like, sold. They look awesome. They're bladed. They're in really good condition. You know, I want them to look carbon. I don't want to have to spray them because it'd just be a bit too much gold. And I said, oh, can you post them? Nah, mate, I don't post. You what? And he's like, no, I don't post. Come on, man, I'll pay you, obviously. No, not interested. Bye. Cheers, mate. So anyway, so I'm kind of out there. So if any of you hear about any inch forks, let me know. Desperate for some. Looking on eBay, and nobody lists the bloody size on eBay, so I'm constantly sending out messages. Is it inch or is it inch and 1/8? And people are like, no, don't know. It's the normal one. The normal one. Aha, the normal one. Yeah, so I'm really stuck for some inch forks. You know, not inch 8, inch forks. And it's doing my head in. Absolutely doing my head in. So there's a couple I'm bidding on eBay, but I nearly bought a set of what they call Columbus Minimal. They're the ones I really want. And they were like 60 quid. And you just can't warrant spending £60 on a pair of forks when the frame costs you 30. It's an absolute joke. So yes, that's not the most ideal situation, unfortunately. But we'll get there. But we will get there. And then I started looking. I actually regret buying the frame now because like I should have just put the money towards a bigger, better frame. I've been looking at old time trial frames that I want to turn into fixies, or I was thinking about just getting a fixie and just making it into a time trial bike. You know, or getting a time trial bike and making like a fixed time trial bike. I think that'd be really fun to race time trial on a single speed or a fixed. So that's kind of the plan, looking at that. But it's tough because a lot of my stuff that I have are disc wheels and disc parts. So to try and find a time trial frame with disc is next to impossible. Anything else with disc, which is aero, is quite impossible as well. Unless you want to spend a lot of money, which I don't. You know me, guys. I'm tight as F. So yeah, so I'm trying to avoid that spend, which I really don't want to do. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. I'll find something. I'll find the right thing soon. I end up buying. I did find a lovely TT bike the other day. Came up on Facebook Marketplace. The lady's like, I want. See, I'm not sure if this is dodgy. Please tell me in the comments if you think this is dodgy. The lady was like, yeah, I'll sell it to you. And I'm like, will you take tenner off? Because it was like, it's cheap. It's like 175 quid. She was like, yeah, I'll do it. 165, cool. She goes, can you wire the money now? And then come and pick up tomorrow? I was like, no, I'm not wiring you money into your bank account. Yeah. Without even knowing your address. Oh, then, yeah, we're not interested in selling it to you then. Do you know what I mean? It's like, the minute you wire money across, with no details, just a Facebook account. Like, but it's one of them, even when you look at their profile, it just says add friend and like nothing else. And I was sitting there thinking, this is so dodgy. Really cheap bike, really nice old school time trial bike. And yeah, they're like, oh, just wire the money, tell you where it is. It's probably not dodgy, don't know, but I wouldn't take the risk, you know. I know it's only 160 quid, but that's a lot of money. It's to me, you know, like it really is. That could buy me. Yeah, it could build me a nice little single speed, you know, from a rolling shell or something like that. We will see. We will see. So, yeah. So, guys, any questions? Far away, guys. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer your questions about ultracycling or YouTube and stuff like that. So, yeah. I've been using my Apple Watch a lot. God, it's fun. Can't believe how accurate the calories are on it. It's very good, actually. Really impressed. Really impressed. I've lost a kilo this week, I think. A pound or a kilo. One of them. The better one. Kilo, I think. So I've actually kind of cheated a little bit on my diet tonight. Just got a little bit too hungry. But then again, I'd gone a little bit too in the mindless last week. Because I started to feel really tired when I was riding. So I was like, I need to make this up again. So guys, in 30 seconds, I'm going to head off. And I'll probably come back on tomorrow, do a live maybe. Or chuck another video out. Keep me posted on what your thoughts are. So yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, I was going to do a live later, but I'm not going to lie. I'm just pretty exhausted. You know, that's something, a bit of an ongoing thing. As a lot of you people that follow the channel know, just one of them things that kind of got under my skin a little bit recently. And yeah, my thyroid's been playing up. So I'm really tired. I want to go to bed, and I don't really want to wait till 8 o'clock to do another live and be really, really knackered. So yeah, so I thought I'd come on a bit early. Give us a like, guys, definitely. And I am going to head off in like 45 seconds. So if you've got any questions, ask away, guys. Ask away. What do I use on my hair? L'Oreal. Thought you might want to know that. Do I get a professional to trim my beard? No. Do it myself. That's why it's so bad. Paul. Hey Robbie, as well as you're a PT, have you thought about coaching cycling? As well as being a PT, have you thought about coaching cycling? Paul, how are you, mate? Hope you're all good, man. Hope you're all good. Yeah, I've thought about it. Like, honestly, so I'll be honest with everyone on here. My clients, I only have one cyclist in my whole client base, which is crazy because I personal train. So mine's a bit weird in... No, Paul, I'm glad you asked. You know, my job's a little bit odd because I originally went into personal training thinking it was going to be all for cyclists. And it just ended up just not happening. Like, some of them would go out on the odd bike ride, fine, but they're not, like, anything crazy cyclists. The majority of mine, it'll be day-to-day people. I work with some really cool people who have some really interesting goals. Like, I was talking last time about someone asked the question about doing ultra racing, and they'd lost one of their arms, and I said, yeah, go for it. And I work with some really interesting people with some really interesting goals, which is quite fun. So yeah, so my job doesn't actually really involve many cyclists. It's cycle coaching, I have thought about it. I was thinking about it one day, but at the minute, you know, if I'm brutally honest, my best friend is Neil Copeland from Turn Cycling, and he's a coach, and I see how much he has to put into cycle coaching, and it's a lot. You know, it's a lot more than I thought. It's a lot harder than you think. It's not kind of just like, oh, you need to do these sessions, these intervals. There's so much data and numbers involved these days, and he's just very good at what he does. And I would have said a year ago, yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a go, and started learning the basics. But after seeing how well he's coached me over the years, I would like to go away for a year and do a proper... I like to do an online course for a year, maybe study under someone for a while before I went into it, because I feel as though I really know my stuff when it comes to doing stuff in the gym. But on the cycling side of things, I take a lot of advice from Neil and ask a lot of questions, and they're the kind of questions that people are going to be asking me, and I don't feel really confident enough to know the answers to those questions. If people want like help with what they're doing with their riding, I'm happy to give them a bit of advice. Like I said earlier, like if you're struggling for time, a few short sessions in the week and one long at the weekend, that's sufficient, to get ready for an ultra race, that kind of thing. But as far as getting power data and analysing and looking at cardiac drifts and stuff like that, I'm just not there, and I think I need a bit more time being trained and hanging around with trainers and coaches to learn. But yeah, I haven't really thought about it. Like, there's a lot with PTs, a lot of people going, oh, be an online PT and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm not really that interested in that kind of thing, to be honest. I like being face to face with people. I like social, and I like when I see my clients that we're going to do squats today, to look at them and think, yes, that's a proper squat. It's difficult. So even people that I work with who I plan programs for, once a month, I always say I won't work with you unless once a month I can see you and you can train with me, so I can make sure that your techniques are good. Because if they're crap, I'm not interested. Don't want you to come back getting injured and doing one of my programs, So I have to get people to, fingers crossed, be local, that I can train, so I can check their form. Like you would with anything, that. So yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts. Right, guys, I'm going to head off in a second. Let me know if you've got any more questions, and I am going to hit the road and go to bed and tired. And do you know what? You wouldn't believe how hot this light is. This light, to get some nice lighting on this video, it's just crazy. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you guys are keeping up with GB Duro. It actually looks like quite a fun race. So yeah, it's good. So guys, I'm going to head off. now, and thank you for watching. It's a little bit quieter tonight. It's okay. You know, it is what it is. And I'll probably do the live maybe tomorrow, next few days, not sure. I want to get some cool videos made, and I'm going to do a good one on like light servicing your bike tomorrow, because my bike's an absolute mess at the minute. It really does need some attention and love, which it hasn't really been getting from me recently. So yeah. Jason. Jason, hello mate. How are you? I've just missed you, man. Just missed you. You just missed me. Yeah, start a little bit early tonight, mate. But I hope you're well anyway, buddy. And let's go out for a spin soon. Let me know when you're free. So guys, I will see you later. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. And got a long day at work tomorrow. And then the afternoon free. Long day at work and the afternoon free. Okay, now I've got a long shift tomorrow then. Afternoon free. So yeah. So see you later, guys. Thank you for watching. And we will catch up soon. Stay cool.